Gemini, hello, welcome to your January 2021 Oracle and Tarot reading. My name is TESA and you're watching my channel. This is going to be a astrology and tarot scope reading for Gemini ascendants, okay? If you are a Gemini sun or moon, there's a possibility that the tarot reading and the oracle reading will still resonate with you. However, I am doing things a little bit differently, and I am going to be talking about current planetary transits that are going on in our solar system and relating it to the whole sign natal chart for Gemini ascendants. So these transits are going to be happening in specific areas of your life if you're a Gemini ascendant. So if you're a Gemini sun but you have a different ascendant, your houses could be ruled by different zodiac signs and different planets. So the beginning of this video might not make any sense to you. So I definitely recommend you watching your ascendant video. And I did post a link of a website in the description box below if you want to pull up a free natal chart and see where your ascendant is and how everything is unfolding in your natal chart. But it is, but you don't, as long as you know your ascendant sign, you don't need to, you don't really need to do anything else. You just kind of hang out with me and listen, okay? So the reason why I'm starting to do things this way is because I find that the information is a little bit more in line with some of the bigger energies that are taking place in our solar system, okay? Like currently, for example, the bigger energies taking place is going to be Capricorn energy and Aquarius energy. That doesn't mean that the other energies, the other planets, the other houses in your natal chart aren't being affected. And that is where tarot and oracle readings come in, okay? So I just kind of want to give a little bit more of a broad overview for the months ahead and to give you different perspectives rather than just doing tarot or just doing astrology. Tarot is a system that is based off of astrology. Tarot is organized in a way that falls in line with the zodiac and with the original rulers of the zodiac, okay? You're not going to find Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto in tarot, but I do still incorporate those planets into my philosophy of astrology. So with that being said, basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let you know what's going on. I'm filming this video in December. It's December 30th right now, so we're almost in January, just 2 days away. But I'm just going to tell you what's currently going on with the transits in the solar system, and then I'm going to let you know what's going to be going on in January, what transits are happening in January, and in which house, what area of your life is being affected. And then we're going to dive into the tarot and oracle reading and see what energies are coming out, like what are the different things that are happening in the different areas of your life. And that is going to come to the surface through tarot, okay? So that's where things kind of start to get juicy. That's where the juicy stuff comes out, okay? Okay, so currently we have the sun in Capricorn, okay? So we're in Capricorn season. So the Capricorn and the Aquarius energies, these are going to be transiting your 8th house of your unconscious, of kind of like the deeper aspects, the deeper psychology of things you go through. Death, rebirth, sex, it can involve other people's money, kind of more like occult type of subjects. So Capricorn energy is transiting your 8th house. This is the house originally ruled by Scorpio and Pluto, okay? And then the Aquarius energies are transiting your 9th house of higher learning, long distance travel, and philosophy, okay? So, as far as the bigger energies are concerned, you might not really feel it as much. It's kind of taking place in a kind of bigger kind of way. So we're definitely going to see what the subconscious and unconscious energies are kind of going on behind the scenes. when we get into the tarot. So Sun in Capricorn in your 8th house. There's a full moon in Cancer right now in your 2nd house of values, possessions, and financial security. So there could be some deeper emotions kind of coming to the surface in regards to your values. Mercury is in Capricorn. Sorry, guys. Mercury is currently in Capricorn in your 8th house. Venus is currently in Sagittarius in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, and overall balance between you and your social network. Okay, so there could be maybe some very loving feelings right now with you and your partner, if you do have a partner, or you could be thinking about love. Mars is currently in Aries in your 11th house of networking, social dynamics, and innovation. Jupiter and Saturn are conjunct in Aquarius in your 9th house, like I said earlier. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus in your 12th house of spirituality, isolation, God, reflection. Neptune is currently in Pisces in your 10th house of work, career, and social status. Pluto is in Capricorn in your 8th house. Okay, so that's currently. And then I'm not going to get into detail about what all of this energy means. That's why we're going to get into the tarot, because it kind of narrows the focus a little bit. It narrows our focus more to see, like, you know, what areas we should be focusing on. So January 6th, now going into January 6th, Mars is going to be moving into Taurus, which is your 12th house of spirituality and reflection. So there could be maybe like a period where you feel like an intense drive to start reflecting a little bit more about your kind of spiritual connection with what you value. On January 8th, Mercury is going to enter Aquarius in your 9th house. Maybe some communication around ideas in reference to travel or things that you want to learn, skills you want to develop. January 8th also, Venus is going from Sagittarius into Capricorn in your 8th house. So there could be a deepening at this point. If you are in a relationship, there could be a deepening of the relationship. You know, maybe you guys become a little bit deeper with each other. On January 13th, there's going to be a new moon in Capricorn in the 8th house. This is going to be very, very powerful. It's going to be about setting new intentions. Things are really going to illuminate as far as like what it is you want to accomplish for the year ahead. January 14th, Uranus is going to go direct in Taurus in your 12th house. Energy might start to feel a little bit more chaotic in this area, a little unpredictable, where you might get thrown into moments of like self-reflection kind of out of nowhere. January 19th, the sun is entering Aquarius in the 9th house. So this area is going to start to become a lot more illuminated once we head into Aquarius season. As far as just kind of taking things to the next level, whether it's in terms of skills or what you're educating yourself with. It could be in reference to higher learning or your philosophy of life. And it could also be in reference to long distance travel and if you have ideas about traveling this year. January 28th, there's going to be a full moon in Leo in your 3rd house of communication, social gatherings, siblings, close friendships, okay? So that's, you know, you definitely might feel a spark of energy to want to get together with friends or throw a party or something like that. And then January 30th, Mercury is going to go retrograde in Aquarius in your 9th house. So, there could be a little bit of challenges in regards to that area. I'm going to get a little bit more into the Mercury retrograde for the mid-January tarot reading, okay? So that's the overview of what is going on with the transits. I won't get into like aspects or anything like that. This is just kind of like a basic, simple outline. So we're going to get into your reading. I'm using the Enchanted Map Oracle. Cards are already shuffled, and I'm also using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot, okay? Okay, so for the Enchanted Map Oracle, we have details. Sagittarius also got this card, okay? So this is going to be really about just kind of like, yeah, getting into the details, really looking at things, allowing yourself to look at things, to learn what it is you need to learn, to get into the details of what's to come, of what it is that, what intentions you have set for yourself for this next year, for 2021. Whether it is travel, whether it has to do with work, whether it has to do with your relationship. Because the bigger energies are in regards to deeper aspects of like rebirth and transformation, as well as your ninth house of like higher learning and just kind of understanding more about the bigger picture, like really understanding the bigger picture. The more you kind of start to see the bigger picture at play here, the more you're going to need to get into the details of what it is that you need to do, you know, so you can get on track with whatever bigger picture you have in mind for yourself. Okay, and then we have education. I mean, I feel like this is exactly in reference to your ninth house, this Aquarian energy, okay? So yeah, so this is really tapping into that Aquarius energy, your ninth house. Education is all about learning new things, you know, broadening your horizons, expanding your philosophy, learning about different perspectives, not being so, you know, maybe not being narrow-minded, not being only on one track, but really kind of opening your mind to different possibilities, different perspectives, and learning the details of it too, you know, and just kind of looking at the details and really paying attention to what people are saying, and being able to distinguish what is like kind of weird to you, what you find interesting, you know what I mean? And kind of using your intuition to decipher information that's valuable to you and information that's not valuable to you. Field of dreams. Okay, this is another very much of a ninth house kind of energy. Ninth house is originally ruled by Sagittarius, and it's all about big visions, big dreams, like the bigger picture. It's it's like full of possibilities and opportunities and all these different things going on. So I really feel like by the end of the month, by the beginning of Aquarius season, when the Aquarius energy really becomes potent, and you guys are an air sign, Gemini, you guys are an air sign. So you're really going to be tapped in, and you're like very much, your thinking is constant. You're always thinking about things and you're always analyzing things. So, I feel like this energy where possibilities and like what is possible and things like that are really going to start to kind of open up and show themselves to you more intensely. They're going to be a lot more kind of like in your view and in your vision, and you're going to really start to pay attention and see how this energy is unfolding before you, how you want to tap into it, what you want to become part of in this process. Okay, yeah, so this is, so far with these oracle cards, I'm definitely feeling that ninth house energy, okay? That Aquarius energy. And currently the North Node Rahu is in Gemini. So you guys are kind of leading the way in a lot of ways, okay? With this new era of air energy, this inception into the age of Aquarius. And for the next 200 years, we're going to be very predominantly, it's going to be very air-driven, very mental-driven, idea-driven. And you guys are kind of leading the way because the North Node is in Gemini. So whenever, whatever sign the North Node is in, it's kind of like a path that we're following. It's kind of, it's in a way like you guys are the ones who are sort of, it's kind of like you're the North Star. You're, how else can I explain this? You're the way that your mind works, because you guys are mutable energy. So think of all the mutable signs. We have Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Gemini. Mutable signs, they're the ones who kind of like, I think of the superhero Flash, because mutable signs are very adaptive. They can go with the flow. They can be part of the change and create the change at the same time. You know what I mean? So they're kind of like trailblazers. They're kind of like these people who just carve the path and then, you know, for others to go down. You know, like if you're walking in a big snowy field and there's 2 feet of snow, that one person who paves, you know, who walks through the snow, and they're the ones who get all their, you know, they're the ones who get their legs covered in snow, but then everybody else follows that path because it was already made, it was created. So why get their legs all snowy when there's already a path formed? It's kind of like that, okay? It's kind of like that kind of energy. Okay, so let's get into the tarot. We have the King of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy, and Taurus is in your 12th house, okay? So this is like leadership energy with reflection. This is very much a spiritual kind of guidance. This is very much like you reflecting, like you really allowing yourself to reflect on all this, what this means, to reflect on your values, to reflect on what's meaningful to you. What's meaningful to you. And this is very much tied to the 9th house, okay? Because the 9th house does have to do with like philosophy and your belief system. And the 12th house is spirituality, a little bit more of like a fuzzy kind of spirituality, not so much mental. It's driven by water. It's ruled by Pisces. So the spirituality in the 12th house is more divinely connected to God. It's more divinely connected to this like source that's inside of you, kind of like the cosmic womb of the universe, where the 9th house is able to put things into perspective. It's able to put things into a sort of wisdom and a way to communicate and a way to create education and knowledge about what they've learned and what they've experienced from the 12th house. Okay, so like if you go, if you start to really reflect on things in your life and things that are going on around you, your value system, you know, what it is you want to achieve, you want to accomplish, what does spirituality mean to you? It's when you come out the other side of that time that you spend reflecting, and you're kind of able to share it with others and like maybe teach others about what you've learned, okay, on your inner journey. So that's what I see kind of going on there. Play on that 12th house. 9 of Swords, this is your guys' energy. This is Mars in Gemini. And this is your first house. With Mars, however, you know, Mars is going to be in Taurus. So just be careful not to like start overthinking, okay? This is Mars in Gemini, and with Mars being in Taurus in your 12th house, this is definitely connected to that moment that you spend with yourself, reflecting, thinking about things. Just be careful not to overthink. Okay, because this is very much about overthinking, overanalyzing, and then it starts to give you anxiety. It starts to give you headaches. It starts to, you know, you can't sleep at night because you're trying to figure things out. So just be cautious of that. Be careful of that. You know, not to get like too deep into it. That might be a little bit hard, especially because the Capricorn transits are happening in your 8th house of the unconscious, death, rebirth, and transformation. So you could start to feel, and especially with Pluto being in Capricorn transiting your 8th house, you could start to feel definitely like a strong pull and a strong force. And it's really kind of pulling you into the deep end. It's pulling you into those like deep inner crevices of your mind and philosophy and your belief structure. So, you know, it's going to be important to just kind of find balance between, you know, being in your head and expressing yourself and actually being able to communicate the things that you're thinking about instead of holding everything in your head. You know, don't burden yourself so much by thinking that you need to just keep everything to yourself and that you need to just, you know, just kind of go through this on your own. Okay, and then we have the 2 of Swords. This is Moon in Libra. So this is definitely about making a decision, using your intuition, gathering more information. Libra let's see. So Leo is in your 3rd house. Or was in your 4th. Okay, so Libra, it transits your 5th house. And the 5th house has to do with creativity, children, and romance, okay? So there could be a decision that you're trying to make in regards to a creative project, or it could be in regards to a romantic partner, okay? Or some kind of idea you have. Maybe you're thinking about if you want to have children or not. You know, it could be just something kind of random that kind of maybe pops into your head. Something that adds an extra element to the anxiety that you're already going through, you know, thinking about the future. This could be a lot about like thinking about the future, you know, and what it is you really want, okay? And with all these different things just kind of popping in your head, and it feels like it's just, you know, the more time you spend in your head, the more that all these different ideas and things are going to come in there, and they're just going to create more anxiety and more worry. And you like, it's really going to be more beneficial to just kind of focus more on the now, to focus on the details of what's going on in the moment. That's going to be really, really important to overcome these energies and to be able to like not get too stuck in your head, but to express yourself as need be and live more in the moment. Okay, so we have the 5 of Cups here. This is another Mars card, and this is Mars in Scorpio. So this is your 6th house of daily routines. Daily routines, health, and work environment. So there's disappointment. There's some disappointment and sadness going on over here. Okay? And I feel like this energy is I don't think this energy is coming from the outside world. I don't think anybody is doing this to you. I think you're doing this to yourself. I think you are putting yourself in kind of a depressed and slumbered and kind of like my life sucks, you know, you like this, going through this period of depression. I think you kind of, I mean, if you really want to blame something, you can blame the Capricorn energy that's transiting your 8th house, because 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. It is it is the house of death and rebirth and transformation. So it could be some of those more intense Capricorn energies that are triggering certain things, maybe some memories from the past, maybe some past life karma, some losses. You know, if you are in a relationship, maybe something, you know, the deeper and closer to you get to your partner. A lot of the times when we start to get really, really deep with our significant other, it can kind of like trigger some stuff from the past, and that's when your soul opens more to your partner, and you need to start sharing more and more of yourself, you know, because emotions start to come up, things start to get triggered, and we need to figure out how to express those feelings, those deeper emotions in a way where, you know, that's like healthy, that's positive. So that can definitely be kind of happening over here, you know. I definitely see this as something like that. And then we have the Tower, more Mars energy, okay? So Mars is really wreaking some havoc. Mars is wreaking a little bit of havoc on your inner world, on your mind, on your emotions, your psychology, your overall sense of spirituality and reflection. Like old structure and belief systems are probably going to be broken down, and you're going to need to like make more room for this more maybe like Aquarian energy, or a different way of perceiving things and viewing things. So there's definitely going to be a transformation, and that makes sense, you know, that Mars is the original ruler of Scorpio, okay? So, And with Capricorn in your 8th house, it could really be, you know, kind of cutting deep in there, getting into your head a little bit more. But it's transforming you. It's like for the better. It's for your benefit. It's so you can really identify, and this is going to be connected to that Mars and Taurus energy that's happening in your 12th house of spirituality, okay? It's going to lead you to channel more of the ability to heal yourself, more of that 12th house healing energy, because that energy is more like fluid. It's pure. It's kind of like a pure energy. It's like being back in your mother's womb, you know? When things are, you know, it's like you break the egg and then things kind of, you know, are mixing themselves all over again. I know that was a weird metaphor analogy, but that's what I was thinking of, okay? So when a tower comes and a tower kind of enters our life, this is always a system that's breaking down so you can build a better one for yourself. So you can build something that's going to be more sustainable and more authentic and more in line with who you truly are as an individual and how you want to live your life. So the 12th house is gonna help you, okay? It's just kind of about like feeling what you're feeling without trying to force it. It's like the more you try to resist and push it away or bury it, it's going to become harder. So just kind of like let it fly, you know, let the pieces fall where they may. Knight of Swords, this is your card, Gemini, okay? So there might be a little like, you know, a little fighting energy going on here. So if you do have a partner, if you do have a significant other, you know, this energy might become a lot to handle. It might become really strong, a lot to handle. Maybe you'll take it out on someone. So one of two things can happen. Either the energy is going to spill over and you might say some things that you don't mean, or you might act out in a way that is very cutthroat and aggressive, using your words, your speech, or this is going to be an energy where the crumbling of your inner tower is going to it's going to be channeled. It's going to be channeled into an intellectual kind of energy. It's going to be channeled into something that you can put the energy into, maybe like writing, okay? Sword and air energy is also about writing, communication, so anything that has to do with stuff like that. But it's definitely that Mars energy is gonna get triggered. That Mars energy of wanting, you know, you're just gonna feel very aggressive. You're gonna feel very aggressive. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, and this is gonna be in your first house. Okay. This Gemini. This is your ego. This is your will, your expression. So very, very expressive. I mean, it's also kind of like, well, this is, you know, this is how you put yourself out into the world anyway. Like, you're very expressive. You know, your mind works very quickly. So like, you need to. That is how you allow yourself to understand things that's happening around you or within you. It's to kind of like get it out and to express and to share and to talk, to communicate, take action, things like that, okay? So this is my reading for you, Gemini. I really hope that this helped. Let me know down below. Let's see, I'm going to be doing a mid-January 2021 tarot reading as well, so stick around for that. If you like my style, please subscribe to my channel. I did start a new series called Get to Know Me Through Astrology. So if you want to get to know me more on a personal level, deeper level, I do talk about astrology and how you can dissect your own natal chart if that's something that you want to do. Yeah, so those links are in the description box below as well. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.